Mom, you are a treasure of a person. I'm so very proud of you. I love you very much. And we're going to have a movie of you that will go all over the world. We have cousins in Australia, Israel. Julie and her family will see you in Arizona, and the children in New York, and all friends will see what you say today. Mom, when were you born?
October 9, 1919.
And do you remember how old you are now?
I'm 95.
That's right. Now, your parents came from Vilna,
Right.
where Hitler slaughtered much of the Jewish population. But you and your wonderful sister Betsy, whom I am named after, and my dear Uncle Louis, your brother, were the first of our family born in the United States. Do you remember where in this country you were born?
Where I was born?
Where were you born?
In America.
Right. In what state?
New York.
New York. Okay. And unfortunately, your parents were unable to take care of their children because of the Depression, and you went to live in the BHOA.
BHO, Brooklyn Hebrew Orphan Asylum.
Right. You were sent to many foster homes where you struggled a great deal. How did those years prepare you for your life?
How did
the years in the BHOA and in your foster homes prepare you for the rest of your life?
To understand a lot of things, a lot of people.
You do have a very good understanding, and you're very analytical. Even when we see a movie, you are good at character study. Is that, I never thought of
I have a feeling for a lot of things.
And was that because of your experiences as a child?
Right.
Wow, that's interesting, because I always wondered where you had that knack to interpret the innermost feelings of other people.
Right.
So you've been through a lot.
I understand a lot.
Right, and you were well prepared for the rough world outside, because you started younger with the rough world than you should have.
I did my best to get through it.
Now,
one of those experiences.
do you remember any particular experience you had as a child that you could recall that was instrumental in forming your personality?
I lived with about 15 different families.
And think of some incident that you want to talk about. Is there anything particular that stands out in your memory? I know you.
How did she feel about living with 15 families?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it wasn't easy living from family to family, changing schools, getting. You know, they didn't have much money in those days. They did it not for the love of children. They did it to have more food for their children. So,
how did it make you feel, living with so many different families?
Yeah, when you had to uproot.
I learned a lot about people.
Like what?
Their good and their bad sides.
Can you give us an example of something good that you remember from those years?
Living with different people.
Yeah. Any particular person that stands out that you remember, that you really loved or liked a lot? From those family people.
Yeah, I remember you used to talk about someone, Sid Madeline.
Sid Madeline, yeah.
Who was he? What did he do?
She was one of the people that I stayed with.
Right. And I think you told me that you were friends with her for decades afterwards, and she had a son, Carrie.
Right.
And Carrie and I were born about the same time.
Uh-huh.
So, anything to talk about with them?
It's hard to remember.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
Right.
But I do remember the name, the Modlins.
The Modlins, definitely.
Were they the best family that you lived with?
Of all of them, they were the best, yeah.
And where were they?
I was with about 15 different families.
Were they in Brooklyn?
In Brooklyn.
Yeah, because you went to Queens sometimes, and sometimes Brooklyn, I think, from the BHOA.
What was that organization?
What does that stand for again?
Brooklyn Hebrew Orphan Asylum.
It wasn't a very nice name.
No, the
And-
last part of it wasn't,
No,
the
it's
asylum wasn't.
Terrible. And you went to school and they'd say, where do you live? And you had to say, but you know, a very interesting thing happened here. One of our friends who lives right around the corner, I'll call him Dr. Al, Dr. Allen. He is a very wonderful and special friend. He also went through the BHOA as one of the last residents. I think they closed it shortly after. And they made sure he went to medical school because he was very smart. And he has a wife, Barbara. We're very good friends. And he visited you just last year. Do you remember Dr. Allen visiting you?
I do.
And he saw the picture in your room. What was that picture, Ma, that oil painting in your room that he gasped that's hanging in your
A
room?
picture of the home.
Of the home. Because they called the BHOA the
Right.
home.
Did you paint that picture?
Where did you get that picture?
I don't know.
But
I've had it, I don't know where it came
he
from.
gasped because it looks, what does it look like? When you look at that picture, Ma, what does that look like?
It looks like the home.
And he said like a castle
Yeah,
because it was really big.
right.
And what is else is in that picture that you said reminded you of your brother and you at certain times? What do they show on that picture in your room?
I don't remember.
The children embracing.
Oh yeah, loving each other, running towards each other,
Right.
and hugging.
And you said that's the way it was when Uncle Louie would see you
Right.
on the weekends when he was
Right.
allowed to visit, right?
Who was Uncle Louie?
Uncle Louie, who was Uncle Louie, Mom? Who is my Uncle Louie?
My brother.
Yes, my dear Uncle Louie. And in fact, his daughter Julie and her husband were here 2 weeks ago,
Right.
and we had a wonderful time
Yes.
together.
Where was Uncle Louie living while this was going on?
Yeah, was Uncle Louie in foster homes, or the boys were in the home, right? They stayed.
I was the only one that was put in the foster home.
And your brother, they were older than you.
Yes.
So he was working outside
Right.
and making his own way in the world.
Right.
And your sister got sick and she was in the hospital. And
Yes,
and
she
passed
wasn't well.
Right.
And where were her
right.
parents during this time?
The survivor you are made you the matriarch of our family. And Kenny and I and our wonderful sons, Andrew and David, with their terrific wives, Amy and Melissa, have added 5 exceptional great-grandchildren to our family. Amy and Andrew have Nathan and Jacob, and Melissa and David have Zachary, Jason, and Emily. And they're all smart, unique, and I know you're going to be so happy to hear how musical they are.
Yes.
And I know the kids have played their instruments
Right.
for you. Zach plays the trumpet. No, Zach plays the trombone. Jason the saxophone. Nathan the violin. And Emily plays the piano and loves to sing.
And I love to
Yeah.
sing.
And Jacob will have an instrument soon in school when he's old enough, probably another year. So, Mom, I remember living in Brooklyn, next door to Aunt Dana and Uncle Ben and Robert. And today Robert and his lovely wife Esther and their son Scott is here to see all of us, especially you. And about 10 years ago, Mom, you changed your life, and after 50 years in Queens, living in Queensview in Queens, you moved to Florida. And now we're very close to each other. Do you like living here?
I do.
What do you like about Florida?
That I'm near to my family.
And what else? Do you like the weather, or you miss the snow?
I like the sunshine.
Yeah, you miss the ice and the snow?
I don't miss it.
And you enjoy visits from my friend Sue, and last week Linda came,
Right.
and everyone, and Louise from Camp
Right.
Sedgren. In fact, my friend Dr. Allen also went to Camp Sedgren. We have a lot in common.
Right.
And Louise, my dear friend from Camp Sedgren, is coming in a few weeks, and you'll see her again, because whenever she comes, you'll see her. When I was growing up, there was always music in our home. Paul Robeson, Al Jolson, Eddie Cantor, opera, and your melodious voice singing all the beautiful songs of Gershwin, Cole Porter, Sammy Kahn, and more. And I always loved when you sang Joyce Kilmer's poem, I Think That I Shall Never See, a poem as
Lovely as a tree.
Would you treat us to a...
I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree that lifts its arms to pray, a tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair, upon whose bosom snow has lain, who intimately leaves with rain. A poem is made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree.
Could you sing that? That was beautiful, Ma. Do you remember how you sang, I think that I... Could you?
I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree that looks at God all day and lifts its leafy arms to pray. A tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair, upon whose bosom snow has lain, who intimately lives with rain. A poem is made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree.
That was... Mom, when you finished all your foster homes, how old were you?
When I finished all
Yeah.
the foster homes,
You must have been almost grown up by then.
yeah,
How old do you think you were then?
it's hard to remember.
So where did you go?
And where did you go after that?
When you left, your last foster home?
Where did I go
You
after
live
the
with somebody
foster
else?
homes?
Friends or family?
Yeah, with your first place. I mean, you met Daddy and you got married.
Right.
Well, before you met your husband, and after you left the foster home, that's right, where did you go? Did you get a job?
Yeah, I went to work
What
as
type of work did you do?
dressmaking,
Where was that at?
New York.
Factory.
What part of New York?
Manhattan?
Yeah, Manhattan, I think.
Did you have a certain talent in that? Did you do a certain part
I
of the
was
dress?
very good with the needle and thread.
So what did you make? What part of the dress did you make?
The hems, all
Mm-hmm.
French hems.
In fact, Ma, you told me when the inspectors came, because they were just starting to feel that maybe young people were being taken advantage, the bosses would throw you in the bathroom so
Right,
they didn't
yeah.
see that you
They
were...
used to hide me.
Because you were
in the
too young,
bathroom.
really.
Right.
So you must have been younger than 18 or 17. It was against the law.
Teenager.
A teenager, yeah.
Maybe 15.
Yeah, yeah.
So how many dresses did you have to work on a day?
Oh, a lot, a lot.
I mean, was it 20 or 100?
Not 100, no. About 25.
And how many hours of work did you work a day? Was it 10 hours a day? What time did you start?
About 8,
And
9,
what time did you get done?
late,
After dinner?
after dinner.
Did they give you lunch break?
Yes, they
How
did.
long was that usually?
30 minutes.
30, and then that was one break a day?
Mm-hmm.
Could you go to the bathroom, or did you get yelled at if you went to the bathroom by
I
the
got
boys?
yelled at to go to the bathroom.
And
yes.
did they threaten they would take your job away if you did it
Right.
too often?
Right.
So there was no union then?
No.
So how many years did you work at many dress places or just one?
I worked a long time in one.
You know the name of that place?
She was Princess. I think it was something like Princess.
Did you stay in that same position, or did you become a? Did you get other positions, or did you always do the same job?
I was always a dressmaker.
Mm-hmm. And when you left there, why did you leave there? Did you get another job in another place, or did you get married? Why did you stop working there?
I got married.
And then did you work then?
No.
So you had children right away?
Yes.
So who was the first child born? Oh, what? Okay. Okay.
Me, I was your first.
Yeah.
And you did a great job today, Ma, so
Okay.
thank you.
What's that?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was great.
Okay.
There's one, I don't know if you're ready to do this, and I'm going to ask you, because Kenny loves when you sing Till There Was You from the Music Man, so I'm going to ask you to take a drink of water, and I have the words for that here. Can you type these words out?
Bells on the hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all till there was you. There were birds in the sky, but I never saw them ringing. No, I never saw them at all till there was you. There was music and wonderful roses. They tell me in sweet, fragrant dreams and dew. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard them at all till there was you.
Excellent.
Okay.
That was fabulous. You are a class act.
Okay, go ahead.
Mom, if you could give advice to a young couple getting married today, this was Valentine's weekend, what would you advise them? Because you're a very wise woman. What would you say?
To understand each other,
Anything else?
love each other, and exchange your feelings with each other.
Very good. I agree. That's great. Communicate. Okay. Terrific. Our friend has to
Okay.
take this off you.